Hey mamas, it's Kristen Noel, founder of the Intuitive Divorce, and I'm popping on here with my beautiful team member, Master Coach Joe Young. We are straight out of a class. And we're just here to share a few of our after class musings because while a lot gets unpacked in class, sometimes it's really tender. And we never really know where the mamas in the group are on any particular day because that's the way life unfolds, and certainly what unfolds in divorce. Because one of the things we always say is that there are so many in between moments, in between your court dates and your meetings with your lawyer and filing your paperwork and all the things. There's a lot of life that happens. And there's a lot of room for triggering encounters and big decisions and conversations and lots of feelings. And today we were up in the feelings, and it's always just testament to why this space is so special and so needed, because it's so easy when we are triggered or we're exhausted or depleted or deflated to feel that we are isolated in our suffering. And when I have a mama that shows up and I can feel the energy right away, I can see her face. I can feel just looking at that little square on our Zoom, on our little Zoom square on our screen. When I see a mama come in that's really struggling, I know right away, but you know what? I celebrate it. I celebrate it from every ounce of my being because I know it took a lot of energy to just show up, to just show up for herself in that way. But I promise you, when you show up for yourself, for support, for nurturing, to keep it raw and real, you will move energy. And today we moved energy. And that wasn't the story for everybody. We had one mom that came in and she was literally high from a week ago from a court hearing, an appearance that went her way. And there was a ruling that was made after a very long, drawn out process and a lot of frustration and a lot of back and forth and a lot of cost, but it went her way. And she was still really flying high from that and was able to harness the power of that, the energy of that, to stay the course and really just stay committed and focused on what was most important to her, which was keeping her son out of the chaos. And then this other mom who was really struggling, she's been in both places, as we all are. Some days we're up, some days we're down. And we just really helped her co-regulate today. I think that was the best way, and I think one of the words that was coming up a lot for everybody was I feel blocked, which is another word for stuck, right? I feel stuck, I feel blocked, I feel derailed, nothing is working, I feel really frustrated. And we listen to it. We listen to all of it because it's real. And that's the feeling. I think I want to just dive into that today, right? The word blocked, because one of the mamas in the group was recounting how she took the prompts for the check-ins that we gave them last week, how to do these daily check-ins with self, and which is really a tool of recalibration and grounding, and how she was implementing this over the past week and how it brought up some feelings. And she was doing some journaling, and she was recounting at the beginning of class how she was a little frustrated with how long it was taking for her to figure this all out. Like, I can't put all these pieces together. And we were just listening. And I don't know how you were processing it, but as I was listening to it, I was thinking to myself, okay, stop being impatient with yourself because you're doing such incredible, beautiful, self-aware work here. And you're getting frustrated that things aren't like, I'm not figuring this out right away. Meanwhile, what I want to ask you is, how long have you been pushing all of those feelings down? How long have you been denying that? You might be carrying this baggage for a lifetime and putting the pressure on yourself to find all the solutions instantly.
Yeah. And I think that's where the stuck feeling comes. If I can't get to a solution that I'm looking for right away, then my mind goes in and tells me how unclear I am, or how stuck I am, or how blocked I am. And then the anxious feelings come up. And even described, she said, I felt all these things building and I didn't know why. And so the first thing we did was tell her that it's okay to feel your feelings without knowing why. It's okay to feel anxious, and some ways that you can release that so that your brain can come back on and get clearer. Gave them some real exercises and different things to do to just get the anxious energy moving and out of her body. And then once she was able to do that, she said, "Yeah." And then I started journaling, and things became clearer. And I realized that there were these things that had been repeated patterns. And yeah, that's what happens once we give ourselves permission to not have to hold it all together so tightly wound,
Hmm.
because that creates the anxiousness. Once we give ourselves permission to go, okay, I am just feeling anxious. What can I do with that? How do
Hmm.
I process that? Right? Because so many of us have bottled up feelings for decades that we didn't know were okay to feel, particularly in a divorce situation. All of it's coming to a head, and it feels like, oh my gosh, if I release the pressure valve, it's all just going to come flying out.
Hmm.
And fortunately, that's not how our nervous systems work. Our nervous systems don't allow it to all come rushing out, but we do have to find small ways to relieve the pressure so that the stuck feeling can move,
Hmm.
so that there is movement.
Yeah. And movement in every aspect, right?
Hmm.
Because it's also so much about finding your voice and how to consciously and effectively communicate what needs to be communicated. Because what happens is when we try to stuff our feelings down, try to deny what's going on, it's going to come out sideways. It's coming out one way or another. So what happens is that we mothers have a tendency to just take it all on and, oh, today's a great day. So you know what? I can suck up a lot and I can like deal with this and I can make an excuse for that and let them get away with this, as opposed to just finding new ways of being. So what
Hmm.
I love about working with moms that are going through divorce, they're just kind of broken open. They're really raw and real and willing to look at what needs to be healed, what needs to be seen. What is it that I really want to change? Because I don't want to keep repeating these old patterns. I don't want to keep showing up and finding that I go, 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 go until I'm depleted, deflated, destroyed. And then I show up as a lunatic, and everybody's looking at me like, what happened to mom? Well, what
Yeah.
happened to mom is that she kind of bypassed herself. There's so many strategies to relearn how we protect ourselves, how we show up, how we set boundaries, how we regulate our nervous system. And it's not about solving all the problems of the world in any given moment. Was one of the things we talked about today is really the power of interruption. And the power of interruption is not about bypassing. It's not about denying. It's about saying, whoa, I am really at my limit right now. I am at full capacity. I can't take on another thing. And if I have a conversation right now, it's probably not going to be pretty. If I
Yeah.
send an email right now, it's probably going to require some cleanup. So, what do I do instead? And it's this self reflective piece, which is just like, it is what it is in this moment. What can I do in this moment? What do I need in this moment? And sometimes it means just stopping all the other conversations, just
Slowing down.
slowing down. Yeah.
Slowing down, taking a breath, right? Getting out of this reactionary mode is so key, because when you take a breath, when you slow down, when you stop the chaos from spinning just for a moment, it gives your body time to regulate. It gives your nervous system time to go, okay, hold up here. I don't have to stay on fight or flight or
Mhm.
freeze or whatever. I can actually regulate back to, hmm, okay, this is what's happening. Now what? How do I handle that? What do I need? How do I use my voice? How do I show up differently? Right? But the first thing you got to do is slow down. Take the interruption, interrupt the pattern of go, 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 do, solve, solve, solve that all of us can get into at different times. And really give yourself time to come back to, how do I want to respond?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to serve me? Because that place is not, but it will serve you to be able to show up regulated in your power, using your voice with your both feet on the ground. As we
Mm-hmm.
said, the first thing you got to do is ground yourself and come back to ground zero.
Yeah. Well, the exciting thing about this is that you can change it right now. You can change it right now here in this mess. Because I know for a mama going through divorce, going through some massive transformation in their life, in their family, in their marriage, with their kids, it just feels overwhelming. This isn't about more, it's about less, less chaos, less noise, less old patterning and behaviors that no longer serve you. And that was one of the things we talked about today about the interruption, about the noise in the background, because we all have those default settings that when this happens, it triggers a certain feeling or emotion. And then I bring all this other noise in to back it up. It's like the backup, the band, right? And it doesn't mean it's true. And it's not serving you and it's not helpful. So this is why having a container like this, having a group like this, being able to unpack this while you are navigating your divorce, while you are trying to show up for the big decisions, is so beneficial because it's going to transform you. It's going to transform your children. It's going to transform the foundation of your home, how you want to feel in the future. And it's certainly going to transform the outcomes of your divorce.
Yeah, mic drop is what I'll say. It's
Yeah.
true.
And we see it. And I really, truly wish that every mama navigating divorce knew that she could also heal in the process and that there was so much opportunity there for her to unleash what needs to be unleashed, to see what needs to be seen, hear what needs to be heard, be validated, become.
Yeah, and we hear it time and time again from the moms that we work with, the moms that go through this program that show up and say, I'm a different version of me than I was when I got here.
Hmm.
And I love who I am today. And
Hmm.
that is everything. That's what we want for each and every one of you.
Yeah, and it's like it reminded me of the one mama that came to class today and she said, "Oh, and then like my car just blew up today and now I have this like, thousands and thousands of dollars of expenses with this." And we were like, "This is why we want to take care of ourselves because life happens around us. It's always spinning. It doesn't mean we have to be looking for what shoe's going to drop next, but it's like, okay, now what? How am I going to show up for this? Because if I am a frazzled mess screeching in on two wheels, you know how I'm going to deal with this." And it's not going to be pretty, right?
That's right.
We just can't express enough how beautiful, how impactful, how important this work is of finding ways to show up for you. That's what it boils down to. What do you need? What do you need in this moment? What support do you need? What do you need to feel your feelings, to feel like there is room to be safe to feel those feelings?
Yeah. What do you need to give yourself permission to just feel them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what we're here for. You're here providing support for each and every person that shows up. For anybody who is in this position, don't keep putting it off
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, those voices, that chatter, that noise that we've been talking about just gets louder and louder and louder. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no perfect time, but right now to honor you,
Mm-hmm.
to finally interrupt, take the pause, take the breath, do what you know you need to do for you.
Mhm. And you know that you need to keep moving forward with your divorce. And there's the same little voice inside that says, I know there's a part of me that needs to heal and to be revealed, and there's more for me. And you can have that right now. And mark my words, again, while this is full of a lot of feel good, love, and emotion, it is strategic. This is not just about feeling good for 90 minutes and a week, which is wonderful. But this is about transforming your entire experience while you're going through it, helping your kids get through it, having conversations with your lawyer, how to show up for court, what to say, what not to say, how to be the calmest woman in the room, how to protect yourself, how to have boundaries, how to have a calm nervous system, how to be the best mother and the best woman you've always wanted to be. That's really what it's about. This is your life, your one precious life. So we know this is a really difficult moment. We know that divorce is really a lot to navigate. You don't have to do it alone. So we are here, and we hope you check us out at intuitivedivorce.com. You check out our website, get on our newsletter list. We are putting out tons and tons of information. We have an app, we're on social media. There are lots of ways that you can be supported through this. You are not alone.
Yeah, so true.
Thank you
Yep.
for all the love that you bring and how you reinforce those beautiful boundaries for us and how you calm our nervous systems every week.
It's my pleasure. Love it.
And I love your heart you got there today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, we hope to see you next week.
Yes. See you then.